What, you mean we actually have to be accountable for the shit we say? Hello, my name's Artemis, and today we are dusting off the old how-to format to educate you on what to do when your own shitty behaviour comes back to bite you in the arse. Now, I'm sure this is something we've all seen in the fandom, and of course in TV, the media, the press, all of that. How the elites, the powerful, the famous manage to hide their awfulness from the rest of the world. And I think it's about time that we all learned this very valuable skill. I mean, after all, when you get to a certain point online, you shouldn't really have to be accountable for all of the shitty parts of your personality, right? Of course not. Once you've got that fuckable fursuit, or you make that porn that everybody loves, then you can just get on with life and be the absolute piece of shit you want to be, safe in the knowledge that it can all just get swept under the rug. And here's how. Okay, let's say for the sake of argument that this starts off with something really innocuous, something really tame that isn't really all that offensive, and that you'd really have to be looking to be offended to actually get upset about. Or at least that's what you'll say when you accidentally unleash your, racism, homophobia, or just general bigotry on the world. We've gone and said a thing that we perhaps should not have said, and it's out there now. There's nothing we can do about it. There is no denying it or hiding the fact. We have said it, and it's out there. Though, I mean, obviously we're going to deny it and ask for evidence that we even said it in the first place, right? So, what are we to do? What is the first move? So the first move to weathering this particular storm and obviously de-escalating things is actually to do the opposite of that and to double the fuck down. You think we said something that upset people and treated them like shit? Motherfucker, just wait, it's about to get medieval up in here. Now, obviously, some people would advise apologising here, acknowledging your actions and moving forward in a productive way that acknowledges the offence you've caused people, but I mean, we're not going to do that in this situation because reasons. Back yourself up and start readily defending yourself against anyone who dares say anything against you. And by that I mean anyone who has a differing opinion or looks like they might. Call them all fucking snowflakes. Tell them they're being too fucking sensitive. I mean, it's their fucking fault for taking things so goddamn seriously anyway, right? So now things are starting to heat up and people are actually starting to take note of what it is you are saying and how you are saying it and how you are reacting to everybody calling you out on it. So this is the point where you need to U-turn a little bit. Now it's time to ask people to be polite, to be passive, to come to you calmly and explain the situation, because that's the only way forward, isn't it? And I mean, after all, honestly, you're the only person who's really allowed to throw a temper tantrum and throw all their toys out of the pram. Of course, this would have been a good move to make after maybe, I don't know, apologising and finding a good way forward, but yeah, that was never going to fucking work anyway, was it? And I mean, as General Melchett once said, a sheer pig-headed unwillingness to look facts in the face will see us through. Now, obviously, people are going to be a little bit riled up with what it is you said, but you can actually use that against them. Tell them that they're just being too emotional and that they're always just looking for a reason to attack you, and now they've found one. And actually, that leads quite nicely into point number 3. Now that everyone is rightfully calling you out for your bullshit and the way that you dealt with those who did call you out for your bullshit, it's time to try and reshift the focus here. I mean, after all, did you really even mean to say the thing that you said? And just because you did you really mean to get caught saying those horrible things you said? I mean, everybody's just jealous. They're always looking for a reason to attack you, and it's not your fault that you keep giving them those reasons. Now, it might look a little bit pathetic to try and elicit sympathy from people when you kind of caused this entire situation and all the shit that you said, but I mean, at this point, we're well beyond the stage where we can actually salvage a situation, and it's all about damage control. I mean, really, why should the victims in this attack be the only ones to get the attention? I want to be a victim too, so I'm gonna fucking make sure I am portrayed as such. And hell, who gives a fuck if they have evidence? We can see to that. Your ploy of victimhood probably didn't go exactly as you wanted it to because it's tissue thin and people can see straight through it, but hell, we can always just remove what it is they're getting upset about, right? Now it's time to start deleting tweets and messages and replies and hoping to God that no one actually screenshotted them. Start to control the flow of the narrative and make sure that all of the information doesn't give people the wrong idea. Or the right idea, if we're being totally honest, but then again, nothing about this should involve honesty. Make sure that profile is squeaky clean and that people visiting that profile only see the messages that are attacking you and not what they are actually attacking you because of. That way you can sit back and relax as mob mentality flows through your profile because now you really do look like the victim. Now that you've deleted all the evidence and that people are only going to see what you want them to see, it's time to really hammer that point home. It's time to become Mr. fucking Positive. Share as many inspirational quotes as you can. Talk about strength. Talk about wisdom. Talk about the power of overcoming this adversity that you have brought upon yourself. Basically, do anything you can to substantiate the lie that you aren't a toxic asshat who thrives off of the total shitstorm that your Twitter mentions have become. Hopefully, when people come to your page now, they will have absolutely no reason to believe all of those horrible little lies that the haters have been spreading just to run you down. Now that the majority of the storm has blown over and your rabid fan base has taken to doxing basically anyone who dares have a differing opinion to them, it's time to borrow some respectability and join back in with the rest of the community. Share some little posts with friends, show some photos of how you get on with everybody, maybe make a few little collaboration videos, or just interact with them in general to show that, hey, you're a friendly guy, you're amongst the community here, you're well liked, right? Basically, do anything you can to try and make out that everything is normal and everything's okay and happy and sunny and shiny and that nobody should ever believe anything bad someone says about you because, you know, your famous best friends think that you're an okay guy. And before you know it, everything will be back to normal and the haters will have just disappeared entirely. And finally, now that you're out of the fucking darkness, you've gone through the tunnel and you're in the light, it's time to be the gracious fucking savior that you are and defend those very people who dared speak out against the shit you said. Now it's time to come to their aid and say, no! Do not attack these. They know not what they did. I bestow upon them my mercy. Leave them be. They are part of our community. And I, after all, am their supreme savior, not the horrible person they made me out to be, obviously. Plus, I mean, some of that shit is legally actionable, so you might want to back yourself up. Put this final nail in the coffin of doubt and make sure everybody knows that you were attacked unnecessarily by jealous little fuckers who you even defended. And then you found your way out of whatever the fuck it is you did to bring forward this righteous wrath. And there you have it. That's how it's done. That's how you can get yourself out of basically anything. Now, of course, this does depend on the level of social capital that you have accrued. There isn't an exact scale, but, I mean, you need to have a really fuckable fursuit. Just completely thirsty bitches following you in about the £20,000 limit to be able to murder someone. If you actually want to be able to do some really despicable racism and transphobia, that's actually pretty easy to get away with these days. So you should be okay as long as you can draw some really good dick. There isn't really a price list, but I'm sure you'll figure it out as you go along, and hell, you'll be able to do this over and over again until you get it right anyway. Okay, there we go. Satire over. We have made the jokes, we have done the funny, and I had a fun time shouting at the camera, but now we're going to talk about some serious shit. Okay, because this is the kind of shit we see all the goddamn motherfucking time. People assume that just because they provide a service in terms of their content, that they can just get away with being an asshat. They think that there is no fucking accountability on social media, and then they attack the people who enforce that accountability, and that shit needs to stop. If you have made a mistake, then that's just being human. You can come back from that because all you need to do is acknowledge that it was a mistake and make genuine attempts to rectify that mistake, okay? But if you turn to stupid fucking tactics like this and you defend the stupid fucking racist, homophobic, transphobic shit that falls out of your mouth, that is not a fucking mistake, is it, sir? That right there is exposing who you really are underneath, okay? These kind of things are not things that we want to see in the fucking fandom, right? Or in fact, in the world, I would say. And it's not something that you should be able to just hide away from just because you've got a cute suit and you make funny fucking videos, okay? If you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. And you shouldn't be able to get away with it just because you've got a rabid fan base who will defend anything you fucking say just because it fits their narrative, alright? How about we all focus on being better? How about we actually take responsibility for the shit we've said and done and work to move beyond it? We don't just brush it under the carpet. We don't just hide away from it and hope nobody notices. We address it. We find a way to be better. Okay? Is that a deal? I fucking doubt it. There's never a fucking deal in this fandom. This is about taking responsibility and owning up to the fact of sometimes you make a mistake. It is not an embarrassing or a shameful thing to hold your hands up and say, you know what? I fucked up. I should not have done that. I acknowledge that. That was an error in judgment, an error in a lot of things, and I really should not have been that way, and I apologize. I apologize wholeheartedly for the ways that I hurt you, for the things that I said that offended you. I am sorry. I want to be better, and I am very, very sorry that I impacted your life in such a way. That is not a bad thing. Why are people so scared to do that? Why is that something everybody has to hide from? If you don't do that in your life, you stay the same, and this shit just happens over and over again until that's it, you're done. Why would you not want to grow? Jesus. Fucking hell. But there you have it. I guess that is rant over. I hope you enjoyed me dusting off the little how-to format. It was cathartic to make. And yes, I hope this actually drove my point home. Who fucking knows? Maybe it did. Honestly, it's probably just going to get ignored because, hey, it's a harsh truth that no one really wants to face up to, so I guess we'll all just wait until I flash the pause again, huh? But if you did enjoy it and you feel like you would like to support, here is a lovely graphic I made, and I'm going to keep using because, honestly, I like this graphic. It's pretty. But yeah, it would obviously mean the world to me, and I really hope you enjoyed this one. I quite liked writing it, and I left it a while to actually post it because, of course, the amount of drama that happens in this fandom, if you don't leave a little bit of a gap, people think you're just calling someone out, when in reality, I'm calling out everybody. So, fuck it. Here you go. Thank you very much.